I wanted to ask a question. The previous lady that you spoke to, the woman that left to work, you had told her that she should go to the kitchen instead of going to her job. My question is, why do you decrease the... What's the word? Why do you decrease the value of this individual as a human being to be less than yourself because of the difference in gender? I don't understand why you can have such a bias towards women specifically, let's say, specifically about this example about going to the kitchen when men can do the same. Men and women can do this very similarly, very equally. Why do you disagree with this?
Well, that's the problem right there. Women don't value being a homemaker and a mom. We tell women, be strong and independent, be a boss babe, make money, get your bag, travel, whatever it may be. We're basically encouraging women to behave like men, and we demonize them for, doing their God-given gift of having a family and bearing children. So that's my problem, because women look at being a homemaker or being a mom as below them, when in reality, I think that's the best job that you can do. So we gotta reframe this as in, it's a man's job to protect and provide and go make money, not a woman's. Now, again, I am sensitive to the fact that we live in a new world, but the problem is that women prioritize earning money, being a 304, living their life, having fun over having a family, and I think that causes long-term problems for them. And it's because of this mindset of, well, why do I have to go make a sandwich? Does that, am I less than you? No, we have different roles. And I think motherhood is one of the best things a woman can do, not a career.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the beauty of having children is extremely important, especially in a society with a declining population such as America. We have a birth rate of 1.6 right now. 2.1 is recovery. I think what I disagree is the fact that limiting women from pursuing a career may be more harmful than saying, being a mother is beautiful. I think there needs to be a case where both...
Well, I'm not limiting it. I'm saying they need to prioritize motherhood over everything else. But the issue is that women chronically, put motherhood in 6th, 7th place behind traveling and dating and having fun and going to school and a job.
Yeah, but can you hear me? I think that instead of I guess you're saying you're not limiting women, but by using this derogatory language, you're essentially putting yourself in a position where the people that perceive what you believe to be extremely negative. You have a very nuanced opinion on this, and I feel like a lot of the people that you talk with see this nuanced opinion as black and white. I hate women. Women don't deserve rights, and so on and so forth. If you keep... you don't have to take advice from me.
You know what's interesting? I don't know if you guys have caught on to this, but I've never once said I hate women, but multiple people have come up to the mic and said that I've said that. Yeah. And this is kind of an interesting thing that I've realized with, women and progressives. What they'll do is they'll regurgitate back to me what they think I said based off how they feel. So if I say something about women that makes you uncomfortable, you come up to the mic and automatically assume that I said I hate women. No, it's actually quite the opposite. I teach men how women really move, so they'll never hate them for what they'll never be. Because a lot of guys think, oh, let me just get a girl. She's going to be an idealistic lover. She's going to love me for me, like my mom. She's going to be loyal and stay with me forever. And I'm here to wake guys up and let them know that, women are opportunistic lovers. You must bring something to the table. They, Brifflett's Law, women only deal with you if you could provide some kind of value, and if you don't, that they're going to leave, and there's nothing wrong with that. But these are the harsh biological realities that I'm trying to impart on the men here.
Yeah, I do see how this can be true, and I do appreciate your perspective. And I do think that people here should definitely listen to what this man is saying instead of interpreting it as their own idea. And we should have more productive conversations.
No worries. I mean, yeah, people always say, oh, you hate women or whatever. It's it's actually the opposite, Because I try to teach guys to not... Because this is how I look at it. I'd rather red pill guys on this topic and let them understand how women really are versus they find out on their own and they rage, right? So it's about teaching them how to, to not hate women for what they'll never be, which is an idealistic lover. Women love opportunistically, Men typically love idealistically. Like, all we really care about is like, oh, is she high and available? Awesome. Women, okay, is he tall? Is he good looking? Do a socks match? Does he speak well? Does he make money? So, and this is an ugly reality that guys don't understand, that women do love opportunistically. And I don't have a problem with that. That's how natural selection, right? This is how we ensure that retards don't reproduce. So, yeah.
Thank you for your time. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
All right, who's up next? Talk. Take it easy. All right. What's up, man?
Hey, so I think the general consensus about like your demographic, maybe like men like college age, like who we have here. And my question is, what are your opinions on modern day behaviors that are generally considered masculine, like hopping on steak, doing peptides, doing hopping on gear, and yeah, just counterproductive behaviors that are technically considered masculine that are being reinforced by social media.
Are you talking about men
yeah,
in
about
particular?
Men.
Yeah. I am anti-gambling, anti-drug. I don't think men should use steroids ever. It's just not worth it. Gambling is the worst. Alcohol, no. Weed, no. I mean, people might say I'm straight edge or whatever, but yeah, I don't believe in gambling, drugs, alcohol, or any of that bullshit. It'll just ruin your life. And as a guy, you can't afford to not be productive. Like your sexual market value as a guy is based on your productivity, your ambition, and your future. Like doing all that stuff will just, hinder you.
Okay. And my last thing is I've noticed like your tone towards women is sort of aggressive, but I just want to put it out there that we are all sinners. God made us perfect, but it was part of our own will that we became imperfect when Adam ate the apple. And the greatest gift to man was God giving his son to die on the cross for us. And I just want to put it out there that Jesus loves you.
All right. Well, don't forget that Eve took the apple and fucked it all up for all of us. So don't forget that either. What's up, man?
Hey, Myron. I just want to say thank you for people like you, Nick, Sneeko, Justin Waller, for being an inspiration for young men in today's society. I think that what people take out of your podcast and they clip it and they make something bad of you, but I think what you're doing is amazing in today's society, and we need more people like you. And also, what would you say about like colleges promoting, fraternities based on degeneracy and, just like getting people to go out at their prime ages of 18, 19, 20 to go out and binge drink and just kind of just waste their years away in college and go down a very dark path?
Yeah, I mean, as someone who went to college myself, I was an athlete in college. That kept me away from a lot of the bullshit. But yeah, I mean, we have to be honest that college is, for a lot of people, not all, but for a lot of students, is just an acceptable way to spend 4 years being a degenerate, right? Yeah. So I think for the guys, in such a competitive marketplace, guys really need to get on their P's and Q's in a very competitive job market. Degrees aren't going as far as they were before. Inflation is through the roof. I mean, I remember when I went to school, oh man, I'm showing my age here. I went to Northeastern in Boston. It was like $35K a year. Now it's like 70 to 80K. And I was like, I graduated in 2013. I'm really showing my age here. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I think guys can't really afford to fuck up in college nowadays. Yeah. And do you since it's so expensive.
Do you think it's a control mechanism for people to, fit into society by getting hazed and,
Say that again. Do I think it's a what?
Oh, a control mechanism for people to join a frat and do degeneracy things to fit into society.
We have so many things in society that are control mechanisms, like watching sports, gambling, drugs, alcohol.
What do you call praising men that you've never even met in your life and wearing a jersey number, or wearing a jersey that if you were in the hospital, let's say, and you cheer and you scream and you rant for these players, they wouldn't even pay your hospital bill. I mean, so what are you doing screaming and ranting about players that would never even give a fuck about you in the first place?
Well, keep in mind that they want you to be plugged into the matrix, right? They want you to have a job where you make just enough to survive, so you can go drink on the weekends, have your Budweiser as you're watching a game, do the same thing over and over again, and not really look at the world at, how it really operates. So it's a slave mind, dude. Yeah. As my buddy Andrew Tate says, you got to resist the slave mind. And unfortunately, a lot of guys have the slave mind.
And my last question, would you also say processed foods like ingredients such as canola oil, corn syrup, and other ingredients are dumbing people down and also basically controlling them at the same time?
Yeah, there's a multitude of things that are making people stupider. The internet, social media usage. A lot of guys have problems with communicating and getting their thoughts out there effectively. COVID, I think, accelerated that, made it worse. But yeah, there's just so many things that have made people stupider. You can make arguments about the food. We don't really, having higher IQ isn't considered cool. A lot of times, oh, you're a nerd. So there's so many different things that play into why people are stupider.
I just want to say, like 100 years ago, if you were to say these things, like it would be socially acceptable.
Oh yeah,
like it's just clown world what we live in today. But
yeah, I feel sorry for you guys because you guys are like growing up kind of like in a woke era, dude. Like I remember when you used to be able to call people nobody cared. Yeah. But nowadays it's like, oh God.
Last thing, sorry. Do you think in like 10 to 15 years, you think you'll see an increase of expansion to Eastern Europe in terms of Poland and?
We did see a little bit when Trump came into office. We did get some more free speech.
No, I'm talking about like people moving to Eastern Europe in terms of more freedom, and you don't really have these policies as you do in the West, as you do in Eastern Europe. Or more.
Say that again. You're
sorry.
really low.
Moving to Eastern Europe where there's actually more freedom in terms of countries like Poland and other right-leaning countries.
You're saying we have more freedom than them?
No, I'm saying, like, do you think people will be moving there in the next 10, 15 years? In terms of also real estate going up in value in terms of those countries.
Yeah, expatriates is a growing thing, dude.
Yeah.
The passport bro movement is real.
Yeah.
Like, guys are definitely getting the fuck out of America.